All right, algebra. So these problems are a little tough, so we're going to go over them on paper, and then you can see why I'm choosing the answers that I'm choosing. So let's look at problem number 1 here, and we have A equals 1/2 BH. So for this first problem, we want to solve, and the letter we're solving for is B. So I want to get B by itself. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of those fractions. And so I think a very important thing to know is if you have a fraction and you want to get rid of it, you're just going to multiply both sides by the flip of the fraction. So you're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. And that will cause magic to happen, because then the 2 and the 1/2 will cancel, and we end up getting BH equals 2A. Then what we can do is we can say, okay, we're trying to solve for B, and so we want to get the opposite of timesing by H to both sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by H, which I know is hard to do, to think of this when it's not numbers, but it's just like when we have numbers. And so our final answer here, I'm going to cancel the H's, and we're going to get B equals 2A over H. Now, we can't format that really great, so we have to look for the best answer. It's definitely not 2H. That's looking like it. Remember that slash means that we're dividing. Technically, there should be parentheses around the 2A, but that's not the answer, and that is not the answer either. So we're going to choose that one, okay? So that's that answer. Let's go on now and look at problem 2. Now, for problem 2, we'll just fold the paper here. And for problem 2, we have P equals 2L plus 2W, okay? So what are we going to do on that problem? We're solving for L, okay, according to this. So again, we want to get this by itself. So we're going to pretend that that's just some number on its own, and we're going to subtract 2W from both sides. Now the reason why we want to do that is we want to get this by itself so we can get the L alone by itself. Well, when we do that, 2W and minus 2W will cancel out. And here we get P minus 2W equals 2L. And then I want to remind you guys that this is a times right here. So then what we have to do is we have to take this expression here and divide both sides by 2. And so I'm going to do that right here. So I'm going to divide this side by 2, and I have to divide that whole side by 2. And so when we do that, the 2's cancel, and we end up getting P minus 2W all over 2. Okay? Now that's the answer. Unfortunately, in the format of this, we can't really get that nice with this on top of a fraction. It just doesn't look that way. So we have to look for the best answer. And the best answer is this one. Nope, that's times 2. So it's not these two. It's going to be this one right here. So P minus 2W divided by 2. Okay? All right, let's do the next one, number 3. And for number 3, we have S equals A plus B plus C all over 2. Okay? So again, we want to solve for A. So this is the letter that we want to solve for. We want to get that guy by himself. That means we have to unpack everything else, okay? So I'm going to do this where I have that A plus B plus C over 2. And I know that I need to get this by itself, so I'm not going to do anything with that A. But I need to undo that dividing first. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So multiply this side by 2, multiply that side by 2. Now magic happens again because the 2's will cancel. And then I get 2S equals a plus b plus c. And again, I'm trying to get this guy by himself. So I need to unpack the plus b and the plus c. Well, I can do that pretty easily. I'm going to subtract b from both sides, and I'm going to subtract c from both sides. That'll take care of it. Now, whatever I do on one side, I've got to do on the other side. So I'm going to subtract b, and I'm going to subtract c. Now, I know this seems wacky and crazy, but these cancel, and these cancel. Now I've got the a by itself, and a is going to be 2s minus b minus c, and you can't calculate anything there. There's nothing to combine, so that is the answer. And so we look for that, and there it is right there, 2s minus b minus c. Okay, and then let's go to the next one. This one's crazy as well, so we'll give this one a look here. So for this one, we have c equals 5/9 f minus 32. All right, and so kind of like the trick we did in the first problem, we're looking for a problem in such a way that we are going to undo that fraction. And so the trick is to realize, okay, I need to get this f by itself. So that's the guy I got to get by itself. I need to get rid of this fraction first. And so what I'm going to do is that multiply by the flip trick. Because if I multiply both sides by 9/5, remember, we're trying to solve for this guy, okay? If I multiply both sides by 9/5, look at what happens. The 9 and the 9 cancel, the 5 and the 5 cancel, magic. Now we just have f minus 32 because this is a 1 in front, so we don't even have to have the parentheses anymore, right? And now we've got this, right? And over here on this side, we have 9/5 c, as scary as that is. And then we're going to add 32 to both sides because we want to get the pink f by itself. And so then we get f, and then this cancels and that cancels, and there we get 9/5 c plus 32. Now again, this answer is kind of hard to format, so let's take a look. Basically, this little parentheses here means do the fraction. This is 5/9. This is 9/5. This is 5/9. This is 9/5. So we're looking for 9/5 c plus 32, right? We're looking for this, and the correct answer is going to be this one. So that's the right answer there, okay? All right, and I'm making this video on the solutions because these are such tough problems that I thought this would help you guys. All right, let's do 2 more here. If you need help on these problems, this will help you. So let's do problem 5. And 5, we have I equals P times R times T. And so solve for R. Now, this one doesn't seem so bad, and I'll tell you why. We want to solve for R, okay? Look at what's happening. We're timesing by P and we're timesing by T. So believe it or not, to do this, we can do this really in one step. And I think it makes it easier if we do it in one step, so I'm going to do it in one step. We're just going to divide the whole problem on both sides. I'm going to do it in red pen here. We're going to divide by P, and we're going to divide by T. Because times P times T, we can do the whole thing, divide it by PT, and we can do that over here as well. And so then the P's cancel and the T's cancel, and we are just left on the right side with this lonesome little R, and over here we have I over PT. And that is the answer. So we're looking for that. And again, we have to put it in parentheses because when we do this slash, it's hard to format. So that slash is like the fraction bar. So we're looking I divided by PT, and this is I times PT. You need to have the fraction bar. You need to have that slash. And so this is the right one, okay? And then we have one more here. And write this down. We have D equals R times T. and we're trying to solve for t. So I'm going to put a little pink highlighter on the t here. Now, this isn't that hard at all, right? We have r times t. So the trick that we're going to do is we're just going to take this equation, and we recognize that we're timesing by r. Well, what's the opposite of timesing by r? Dividing by r. And so then we get r divided by r, and that'll cancel. And I should have done this in red pen. Sorry, I'm not being consistent. So we're dividing both sides by r, and so then the r's will cancel, and we end up getting t equals, because that's the left side, t is d divided by r. And so that would be our answer. So we're looking for d divided by r, and that's that one. Okay? All right, hopefully these video solutions helped you if you were getting stuck. And I'll try and do that for the next problems too, and post them into the comment links when you grade your paper. All right.